and the scope and the length into which he has given this pardon, 11 years for everything. It is a full pardon for anything. It draws the question, what else was he doing? There was $24 million from foreign countries, including adversaries, through 20 shell companies. There's probably more. There was the issues of Hunter receiving millions of dollars in free legal services, in representation. There were probably appointments. And where does it end?
Okay, Destiny, here's the problem. Not a problem.
I'm just curious. Because I don't know all the time. Do the people who cover politics, are these like actual news people? Like, what is the background here on this show?
What's your point?
When you have people talking about like the Democrats have never said.
Just go look at his laptop.
In this video, we're going to watch a clip of Destiny sitting on a panel on Piers Morgan Uncensored. The topic of the day is Hunter Biden's recent 11-year pardon. With that, let's watch Piers Morgan's panel members take turns picking apart Destiny's ridiculous defenses of the Biden crime family until eventually Destiny melts down for our enjoyment.
Let me bring in Ryan here. Look,
Ryan.
Yeah, it seems to me that the Democrats, liberals generally, have gone into a weird kind of collective anaphylactic shock, which has now been massively exacerbated by what Biden's done. Because the truth is, they cannot handle the fact that this guy they spent all year calling a fascist, a Nazi, the new Hitler, the biggest bigot in the world, blah, 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 has won literally across the board everything. It's sent them all slightly nuts. And people like me who basically are in the middle, I'm a kind of centrist, slightly liberal guy, right? I'm not a Trump dingleberry. I've just warned the liberals for years this was going to happen. And now it's happened. They want to blame me. And I'm like, I did try and tell you.
Right. I mean, if you look at the Trump victory overall, there's a wide range of why he lost, from woke culture to racism, misogyny. I mean, it runs the gamut. But what's really interesting about this pardon is what Biden is saying in the pardon versus what Democrats who are supporting Biden and protecting Biden or making excuses for him are two entirely different things. Biden is saying that what Trump has said for years is true, that there is politicization inside the Justice Department. And that is a damning account, because politicization of the Justice Department was completely a partisan issue. Democrats for 4 years said it wasn't happening. Republicans said it was happening. And here's the Democratic president saying, no, it happened, but it happened against my son. I think that the scope, I don't listen, if he would have said, I love my son, it's my only surviving child from my first marriage, I honestly don't know many Americans who would disagree with him. I would feel sympathy for it, but that's not what he said. And the scope and the length into which he has given this pardon, 11 years for everything. It is a full pardon for anything. It draws the question, what else was he doing? There was $24 million from foreign countries, including adversaries, through 20 shell companies. There's probably more. There was the issues of Hunter receiving millions of dollars in free legal services, in representation. There were probably appointments. And where does it end?
Okay, Destiny, here's the problem. Not a problem.
I'm just curious. Because I don't know all the time. Do the people who cover politics, are these like actual news people? Like, what is the background here on this show?
What's your point?
When you have people talking about like the Democrats have never said.
Just go look at his laptop. He gave you all the info. Hunter's laptop tells you the story. You don't have to be a journalist to read the story.
Where are the charges? Hey, where are the charges? Ben, where are the charges? They've been investigating Hunter Biden for 4 years. Where are the charges? I thought we were going to get impeachment charges from Jim Jordan. Where are the charges for Hunter Biden?
Let me get this straight. Did Destiny say with a straight face, what are the backgrounds of the people on this panel? Are you serious? What's your background? Don't you play video games? Isn't that your thing? And somehow now you and Hassan Piker, who are video game players, are the hope for the Democrat Party, the voice for the Democrat Party? He's got to be kidding. That's like, I would avoid that topic at all costs if I were him. Good Lord. And I don't know where Destiny's going to go on his rant here, but 100% the idea of the DOJ being used for partisan political reasons has always been a partisan issue. The Republicans have complained about it forever, and the Democrats have just denied its existence. So I don't know what the argument is going to be here. Anyway, I guess I need to figure it out. Let's get back to the video.
It's a great question. I can answer that because I actually read it.
Which they looked into Hunter Biden was very narrow.
The DOJ made sure that the statute of limitations on the worst crimes that dealt with the tax issues were outside the statute of limitations. So if you go talk to a lawyer, they'll explain what that means to you. But the DOJ
I don't need to talk to the lawyer. I've read the documents. Thank you. I'm not illiterate.
You asked the question. You asked the question. You said, where are the journalists?
You just made
I'm
things that sounded like FARA violations. You're telling me the FARA violations is him illegally accepting foreign money, of him taking bribes and having money go. The statute of limitations is what, 2
Don't
years?
talk over each other, please.
I'm going to finish it again. He never registered as a foreign agent, and the statute of limitations that ran out on that for what was going on. He never dealt with the tax issues and didn't have to, because we know deliberately that they purposely slow played to make sure that the worst crimes were going, and the DOJ did this. The timeline is clear. They would expire, so they couldn't charge him with those crimes. The reality is the reason why the Biden administration is now having to go back and say who else needs a damn pardon is because there was people abusing their power to make sure that the only 2 crimes that they charged Hunter Biden with could not be connected to the big guy. The gun charge didn't connect the big guy to any actual crime. And that's a fact. And the tax charges where they did charge him dealt outside of any of the money coming in from the money laundering. So the Department of Justice ran interference and said, we'll make sure we investigate this. Oh, crap. The statute of limitations ran out. Even if we wanted to charge him, we couldn't charge him with the crimes. And that's why the White House.
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
Is saying, holy crap, who the hell needs another pardon here? It's that simple.
Okay.
And go
so
read the laptop.
Easy question for you then. Easy question for you then, right? So the reason why Mueller was appointed was because an actual obstruction of justice was Donald Trump firing Comey to try to stop the investigation into his illegal activity.
You have the right to fire who you want to fire when you become the president. You should have fired him day one.
What was the equivalent action on the White House and their influence on the DOJ? Give me the equivalent action. Where is the intrusion of Biden into the DOJ?
All right, I'll answer the question simply. If you understand presidential powers, you would understand that you serve at the pleasure of the president, and the president had the right to fire James Comey whenever he wanted to, and he should have done it day one, but he went against his advisors when he did that. James Comey, by the way, laughed on TV about sending in FBI agents because the Trump administration was too trusting, too new, and too green to Washington to go after General Flynn to try to get dirt on Donald Trump.
So you have
he
nothing.
laughed
You're
about
lying.
it on stage.
You have nothing. Flynn lied to the FBI.
On stage.
That's
the guy that you want to defend
Donald
right now?
Trump's
Are you kidding
meddling
me?
in the DOJ. There is no equivalent to that on the Biden White House, which is why what you just said was a bunch of nonsense.
Then why are they talking about giving pardons out to so many people? Answer me this question.
Hang on. Destiny. You say that the Biden administration has done nothing to meddle with the DOJ. He has literally pardoned his son, who's been convicted of criminal offenses. That is.
Why did you just say bingo? What do you think a pardon is? How is a pardon meddling in the DOJ?
You don't think it's meddling with justice?
Because the DOJ and the judge even said yesterday that this was the most despicable abuse of power. Go listen to what the judge said. He was not a conservative judge who wrote a scathing rebuke of the Biden administration's abuse of power after there had been a conviction for his son. Go read what the judge wrote, and you might understand.
I'm sorry.
Wow,
do you think that when does a pardon happen if not after a conviction? What do you think a pardon is for? Is every single pardon?
That wasn't my point. My point, Destiny.
Please, let me say this. If this is the part where you need to listen to what you're saying. No, listen to what you're saying. You just said that you only give a pardon when someone.
I still don't understand how Destiny is considered a good debater. He just gets mad and tells everyone else that they're dumb, especially lately. That's kind of what his strategy's evolved into. But bigger picture here is I haven't really seen Republicans, and I haven't seen everyone, maybe they are, but I haven't really seen Republicans pearl clutching over this. The whole pardon thing, we have to respond to expose to everyone what we already know, but the blatant hypocrisy of the Democrats. Joe Biden told everyone he would not pardon his son. I believe in my heart of hearts that his advisors or whoever was actually running the country, because it probably wasn't him, but they'll decided, hey, that'll look great for us. That'll make us look like we have the high moral ground. And if you want to pardon him eventually, then and you need to, then you can do that later. Or at one point, I think he probably thought, I'm going to get reelected, or Kamala will get elected, and then she can pardon him. So basically, he felt like, I got time to worry about this later. So again, I don't think Republicans are pearl clutching. I just think, and I'll just speak for myself, I get very frustrated that it feels like no one on the other side, and I guess because we're all in our own echo chambers and bias, but no one on the other side ever admits the ridiculous hypocrisy of the left. I mean, they've literally been praising Joe Biden forever that he's not going to use the justice system. You know, he's not going to use the justice system improperly. He's above that. And then on his way out of office, he's like, yeah, I'm going to give a 11-year pardon. And now you've got, like, it seems like tens of thousands of politicians, journalists asking for pardons. Their excuse is, well, Donald Trump is going to go after his political enemies with the Department of Justice. But really, I think it's because they know they are complicit in something to varying degrees. That's why they all want pardons. And then the final thing is, with what was just discussed on Piers here, the fact that they let the statute of limitation run out on all of the crimes that the big guy was associated with, and only went after Hunter Biden on the crimes that had no connection to his father, I think this pardon for Hunter Biden is a way for Joe Biden to pardon himself, because I'm not positive, but I don't think a president can pardon themselves. So I don't know why more hasn't come of this. Maybe just because the Department of Justice has been under Biden's control. But when the Hunter Biden laptop story came out, the only things personally that upset me, I wasn't mad at Hunter Biden for having substance abuse problems. I mean, I think he's probably not a great person with all the other stories, but there were memes and jokes about it. What I was upset about is there was damning evidence in there that said clearly that Hunter Biden was essentially an intermediary that sold access to his father, then the vice president of the United States. That's a problem. And why have no charges ever been brought up into that, or any real digging? I mean, that's what was so damning about the laptop. The pictures of him doing crack and hookers and whatever else, that was just kind of icing on the cake and kind of funny. Anyway, let's wrap up the video.
Someone's been convicted. If that was true, they wouldn't have just given a 10-year absolute pardon to Hunter Biden for a bunch of crimes he committed in case he is actually investigated for the damn crime.
The whole point of issuing that pardon is to make it so that you guys can't spend the next 4 years playing Hillary's emails with Hunter Biden. That's the whole point. Because that's what you guys do. Like you tried with Hillary, like you tried with Benghazi and failed over and over and over again with all these bullshit investigations. You do like you've done now with Hunter Biden.
Destiny,
like you did with Ken Starr and Bill Clinton.
Destiny, hang on.
Hunter Biden bullshit now.
Hang on. Destiny, to be clear, Destiny,
in the House, going to bring in
Destiny
charges to Joe Biden and has nothing. But here you are, still speaking
calm down.
The same lies about the Biden crime family.
Destiny, hang on, please. Can I get involved here? Destiny, a question for you, which is Gavin Newsom, who was one of the most vocal supporters of Biden, even when everyone else was chucking him under a bus. Even he has come out and said he cannot support this decision. Do you actually support what Biden has done? Do you support
Absolutely, 100%.
Wow. So actually, in the end, you do support lying, hypocrisy, and shamelessness, and obstructing justice. You support all those things.
No. What the part of Hunter Biden is a trillionth of what.
Every time I watch Destiny debate, I think, wow, this is his worst one ever. Because this is terrible, but he continues to outdo himself every subsequent video. But we want to know what you think. Do you think the Biden pardon is justified? Do you support Joe Biden's pardon of his son? Do you agree with me that Biden is trying to keep himself out of trouble as well as his son with this pardon? Or do you just have any other thoughts on this whole situation that we haven't covered in this short video? Anyway, that's it for this one. As always, we really appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next one.